Cada día sale el sol, nuevas esperanzas son. Dios habla a tu corazón, sanándote, alimentando tu vida con bálsamo de vida, con bálsamo de vida, bálsamo de vida.
Bálsamo de vida con Rosmery y Reid.
In Exodus chapter 14, verse 15, Jesus tells Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on." And today God sent me to tell you to move on. Reading about the history of the people of Israel in Egypt, we realize that their life was not an easy one. It was a life of constant hard work, slavery, feeling like strangers in a foreign land, a life that produced discouragement, disappointment, and anger. But things changed when God turned his eye to them and chose a leader capable of freeing his people. When God tells the Israelites to move on, I can imagine them looking at each other and questioning because they couldn't imagine where they could go. Right in front of them was the Red Sea, and behind them catching up was Pharaoh's army. And many times we find ourselves in similar situations where we don't know how to continue. We feel stuck not knowing how to be able to move forward. But just as God told those Israelites then to continue and move on, he's telling you today to continue and move on. So the Israelites chose to obey Moses and continue forward, but the biggest obstacle was still in front of them. So God gave Moses instructions to lift his rod, stretch his hand out over the sea, and divide the water into two. While Moses might not have understood how God was going to work, all that was left for him to do was obey God, and that was what he did. He extended his rod, stretched his hand out, and the sea was parted into two. But it was not the rod or Moses, but the power of God that was working in favor of the people of Israel that allowed the water to be parted into two. Perhaps listening to this reflection, you're thinking, God, I'm tired of moving on and not seeing anything. But let me ask you this. Would you rather die in the desert by the hand of Pharaoh or obey the voice of God? There is so much work to do in this walk to be able to reach the promised land. Don't give up now. Run, move forward. God is telling you to move on. This is your sister Vanessa Ortiz, and may God bless you.
Gracias por estar ahí, escuchando Bálsamo de Vida. Si estas palabras han edificado tu vida, escríbenos a balsamodevidareflexiones@gmail.com y síguenos en nuestras redes sociales. Reflexiones Bálsamo de Vida. Que su gracia te cubra en este día.